so hard. There are economic crisis, social and political instability. People can hardly afford a meal. There are problems everywhere. Oh, what a life. This life is so filled with so much struggle and hardship that sometimes you are tempted to say, oh Lord, why me? Oh Lord, where are you? I know you have been faced with such terrible situations that made you to cry out and to shout out, looking for solutions. I have been there too. There have been times I have been faced with financial challenges. There have been times I have been faced with health problems as well. And there have been times I have cried in my little closet. And I know you have gone through that too. So, we are all in this together. I want to assure you that just like I was able to overcome, you too can overcome. In this video, I'll be sharing ways you can overcome the different challenges of life. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, I'm inviting you to do so right now so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Stay tuned. Ups and downs. Today you are up and tomorrow you are down. Anyone can feel happy and contented when everything seems to be going well. When you have your dream job, you have money, your marriage is going well, your kids are doing okay, and none is acting abnormal. And you are doing a business and it's thriving so well. It's so easy to be so overjoyed. You know, you'll be so happy and contented with life. At that point, when everything seems to be going well, oh, life will be very, very sweet. It will be very, very fulfilling for everyone. But the problem comes when things aren't okay. That's where the problem is. And that is where a lot of people become disheartened and they become frustrated. At this point of the low moments in people's life, that is where they begin to lose their motivation and they become depressed. But you must understand that life is always changing. It is never constant. Sometimes things will go very well and at that point you just enjoy it, you know. At other times, everything can begin to fall apart. And that is where the problem is. The test of life comes when things are not going well for you. You must understand that life is not a bed of roses. When you begin to understand the dynamics of life, you will begin to adjust yourself and flow with the tide. Know that it is during those down moments of life that growth actually takes place. That is where you stay to learn the lessons of life. Really. That is where you develop your strengths. And sometimes those down moments begin to propel you to your desired destination. When things become so hard and very challenging for you, you must see what's there for you to learn, because there is always a learning point for everything that happens in one's life. And in the process of going through those challenges of life, you will become stronger and even better if you don't succumb to those challenges of life. Here are 5 things that can help you. 1, Don't be overcome by self-pity. There are people who wallow in self-pity because of their misfortunes or their problems in life. They begin to complain about their situations to everyone they meet. They go from A to B, telling them of all their problems and of all their challenges. But forget to understand that everyone has a burden to bear. So by the time you go telling people about your problems, you might be making a very big mistake. Note that about 80% of people do not really care, and 20% are as glad as you and will say, thank God that didn't happen to me. So don't get yourself in a state of self-pity. It won't help you. Rather, look for a way out of that particular problem or that particular situation that you find yourself. If maybe the problem is as a result of the bad decisions that you have taken in the past, please don't beat yourself up. Don't get worked up because of that. It's perfectly okay to make a mistake. We all have made mistakes in life. But it is not okay to get drowned by it. What you learn after you have made a mistake is what is important. So get over it. Learn from that mistake and then move on. Avoid putting yourself in a state of self-pity. Next is you have to become tough. Don't allow the adversities of life to sweep you away like a flood. You have to develop yourself and become more resilient. There's this famous quote, tough times never last, but tough people do. So build yourself up. Things will not always go your way. There will be situations that will come into your life and shake the very essence of your being. But what do you do in such situations? Tell yourself that you are more than conquerors in Christ. Tell yourself that you will overcome. So you have to develop a fighting spirit. You have to be tough, and you have to believe that you will overcome that particular situation that you are facing at the moment. Pick yourself up and fight until you win. Don't lose hope and give up on yourself or on your dreams or on the plans that you have. Keep fighting, and definitely someday, if you develop that fighting spirit, you will succeed. Remember that God is still in control of the entire universe. God still sits on the throne and oversees the affairs of mankind. Note that everything in life happens for a reason. Nothing just happens, Most times, a lot of things that we see manifesting in our own physical reality have some spiritual undertone. Now, let's take a look at Job in the Bible. We all know what happened to him. In one day, this man lost his wealth, his children died, and he lost everything that he owned. But he didn't know what was playing out behind the scenes. As the story goes, Satan visited God, and God told him, have you seen my servant Job? He's perfect in all his ways. And Satan said, oh, just take away all this protection that you have around him and all his word and everything, and he will curse you to your face. And God said, go ahead. And that was how Job met his calamity. Similarly today, behind the adversities in your life is a spiritual battle that you may not be aware of. So don't always look at things happening to you with only your physical eyes. You have to put on your spiritual eyes, put on your spiritual goggles, so that you can be able to appraise every situation of your life in the right dimension. That way you can be able to fight appropriately and win gallantly. Once you are able to shift your focus from that problem that you are having, and you are able to peep behind the curtains to see beyond the physical realm, you are halfway down the path of victory. You will be able to attack the situation both physically and spiritually, as was in the case of Job. Job was very resilient. He was tough. He went through all the difficulties. His health, he lost everything, and yet he never cursed God. There are some people who have not even gone through what Job went through, and they have cursed God. And they have asked God, why would you let this happen to me? They are spiritually blind. They have not been able to bring themselves up to that point where they will fight and conquer. He who runs to God will conquer all his battles. If you are able to walk with God, if you allow God to walk you through that problem, when God begins to step into your situation, oh goodness, your victory is sure. It's one thing to believe that God exists, and it's another thing to trust in him. You need to have faith and believe that God can rescue you from that particular situation. Having faith means refusing to accept any negative circumstance or to entertain any negative thought in your heart. Faith is believing that good will come to you despite all the prevailing circumstances around you. There are people that are so pessimistic. They don't believe anything good will ever come out of a bad situation. They are always there to project the worst outcome from a particular problem. You see, that they begin to analyze and give reasons why a particular thing will not work out. Why? Because they lack faith in God. Let me tell you, when you believe and prepare for the worst will certainly happen to you. That is why you see some people saying, oh, my worst fears have befallen me. Oh, this thing just happened just as I predicted. What you think will happen to you will definitely happen. So you have to start declaring positivity into your life and speaking positive things with your mouth. Have faith and believe God for the best outcome of all the situations in your life. No matter how difficult it may be, never lose hope. Trust God and believe that He can take you out of that difficulty and make you smile again. You need to activate your faith in God today. Most times, that's the only option that you have when you get to a crossroad, you get to a place where you think there seems to be no way. When you look to the left and you look to the right and there seems to be no way, hold on to God. When you are caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, trust God. When all hope seems to be lost, believe that God can see you through. God still works wonders. He still works in a miraculous way. He makes a way where there seems to be no way. A man was kidnapped one day and held captive for days. When this man was in the camp of the kidnappers, he prayed fervently, pleading that God should save him. He believed that God is going to make a way out for him. He saw himself being set free. He saw himself and imagined himself being reunited with his family. He didn't come to the point where he would say to himself, oh, so this is going to be the end of my life. So this is how I am going to just die. But he kept his faith alive. Each day he would see himself being freed. One day, when his kidnappers were not there, a hunter was passing by in the forest and discovered this man held captive. He quickly ran to him, untied him, and set him free and took him out of that forest. So this hunter released him and they both escaped. And that was how this man regained his freedom. Just by activating his trust and his belief in God. He didn't come to the conclusion that it's all going to be over. His faith saw him through those difficult situations. And the same thing can happen to you today. No matter how bad that difficulty is, believe that there is a way out. Trust God that He's able to take you out of that difficult situations and He will not fail you. Just trust Him today. Another thing you need to do is to transform your thoughts. What are the things you say to yourself? What are those inner conversations you have with yourself each and every day? Are they thoughts and conversations of good, or those that will bring hopelessness? You know, a lot of the time we tend to think things that would make us feel hopeless. You have to make every effort to suppress all negative thoughts from your mind. Because what you say to yourself after something happens matters a lot. Just like this man I mentioned, if he had said to himself, it's all over, it would have been over for him. If he had said to himself, oh, so this is how my life is going to end, and he'll start mentally preparing himself for death, probably he wouldn't have found a way out. So there's a connection between faith and victory. So you have to say positive things to yourself. You have to also remember that whatever you think every day will affect your feelings. And your feelings will ultimately affect the way you behave and the way you act from day to day. Are you fond of dwelling on past things and negative things? Are you fond of recounting bad things that happened in the past? These are things that will never help you. They will rather make you feel bad. You feel sad. You become depressed. You know, when you become so engrossed in negative thinking, it will never do you any good. Not at all. So, I encourage you, work on your inner conversations. Work on your thoughts. Think wholesome and pure thoughts. Thoughts that will lead you somewhere, not the one that will take you backwards. I know sometimes it can be so difficult to maintain a good and positive thought in the face of adversities. Your children have not eaten, you are so hungry, you don't have money, you don't have a job, you know, you are ill, or you have been diagnosed of a chronic disease, or one bad thing or the other just happened to you. It's difficult to maintain wholesome thoughts at that point in time. But if you decide, if you only but decide that no matter how bad that situation may be, you will remain positive. You will believe the best will happen to you. You will believe that you will definitely overcome it, that it's just a phase. And you will tell yourself, oh, even though I have lost my job, I'm going to get another job. Even though I have been diagnosed with this medical condition, I am going to be healed. I will be well. You know, you will tell yourself, even though I just lost a spouse or a child, it is not the end of the world. That one day at the resurrection, we will meet never to part again. You know, there are things you tell yourself when something bad happens. Those things matters to your state of mind. Those things will keep you either in a depressed state or in a stable, happy state. The choice is yours. You can decide how you will feel, how you will be, and how you will maintain your mental state, no matter the situations in your life. That choice is in your hands. So what do you choose? Do you choose to wallow in self-pity? Do you choose to continue to stay in a gloomy state? Or you choose to keep your faith alive? Or you choose to remain positive? Or you choose to keep hope alive and believe that whatever that situation is only transient. It will surely come to pass. Friends, I want you to get yourself to that state where you become unshakable. I want you to walk yourself up to that point where no matter that bad thing is that happened, where no matter that bad situation that comes your way, you will still be able to keep your eyes straight up and say, this too shall pass. It is my desire for you today to walk gallantly in the face of all the difficulties of life. My heart goes to you. It shall be well. I want to leave you with this famous quote. Life is like a camera. Focus on what is important. Capture the good times. Develop from the negatives. And if things doesn't work out, just go ahead and take another shot. And finally, remember that no condition in life is permanent. So, whatever condition you are going through, it is not permanent, for it will surely pass away. Thank you for joining me to the end of this video. I appreciate you a lot. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, I invite you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be alerted when I make new videos. I want you to share this video to inspire someone out there today. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and let me know about your experiences by sharing with me in the comment section below. Until I see you again, peace.